everybody, my name is Nihad. I'm an Algerian tour guide and I'm an archaeologist. Today I'm gonna try to show you a corner in Algiers which is the class.
So let's start. I'm on the big square, but I am actually just in the vicinity of the most famous landmark of Paris. And if I can turn my camera, sorry, and that is her, the Iron Lady.
I'm David, and I'll be your guide here in Venice. Unfortunately, for some reasons, I'm probably too ugly. I have to wear this mask.
So you guys are in for a real treat.
The coaster in Sydney.
Yeah, look at the sun on the stones. How pretty.
Yeah, nice, eh? Australia. So normally, there's not much surf today, but normally there's waves here, and all the young dudes come out here, walk along this little rocky outcrop, and instead of paddling up that rip up the side there that we saw on the side of the rock pools, they walk out here and jump off here. They might do that later on. I think the tide's a bit too high. There you go, the sun's up.
Nice. How pretty.
Not bad, eh?
Hey, happy birthday, Cindy.
Happy birthday, Cindy! Look at this. It's your day.
It's beautiful.
And from here, we're going all the way to St. James Palace, which pretty much until the 19th century was the official royal residence in London. And it's still a royal palace, and today is the official residence of Princess Anne and her husband. And next door is Clarence House, which is the official residence of Prince Charles and his wife Camilla. What is actually quite interesting as well is that next to Clarence House is Spencer House, which was the official London residence of the Spencer family. Of course, Lady Diana was part of the Spencer family, so the late Princess Diana, that's where her official London residence or her family is. Today it's on lease and it's occupied by the Rothschild family, who are a bit like the Rockefellers in America. They're one of the biggest banking dynasties in Britain.
It's the stone roof, as you can see.
Wow.
And it covered the whole area. So this was all covered up. The windows I was talking about, this is the distance between the gate here and the roof above. This little distance was used as windows to bring the lights. So if this whole area was covered up with stone roof, the only way to bring the lights is through this little distance here. This will come like beam of light and then received by massive copper mirrors to be reflected to each other, those mirrors, and illuminate the whole place. Nowadays, there is a good work and a great job of restoration happening in this temple. And it's a cooperation between Chicago University and the Egyptian Antiquity Department. They're cleaning the rocks. They're taking layers of dirt from the wall, and then the original color started to appear again. Like if you give the lock to the wall, compare between here and right above, you can see some of the colors started to appear of the gods. And this is after cleaning and after taking layers of the oil lamp fumes. The people who lived inside the temple, they was using oil lamp. And a lot of bird blood and bird poo.
Yeah.
And here the scuffling of nowadays to clean the rocks to show the original color. The color is coming in a great condition like how it is in this picture. This is the result of nowadays.
There's a beautiful picture going up the stairs of a woman's face.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a soap opera actress, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, this area indeed, it's an area that the City Hall of Barranco have made the Semana del Arte Urbano. Let me show you here, just to show you better. This is Semana del Arte Urbano en Barranco.
Ah.
So the idea is that all these properties make like a donation of the walls for art.
Beautiful.
And the artists express themselves, but every expression must be connected with our culture. It's not only.
And right now, I'm walking on the original marble floor. My friends, here you can walk on the same footsteps of the Roman emperor, because this marble floor decoration is the original one. Thanks to the Christianization, when this building was converted into a church, was possible to preserve this building, to avoid the destruction. All the other Roman buildings were converted into quarries to recycle the material, to beautify the new Rome, the Christian Rome, except this building, because it was converted into a church. And just in front of you, look, a bronze door is the original one. So this means that this one in front of you is a bronze door of the 2nd century AD. The Pantheon today is a church. At this hour is closed, but I remind you that the admission is free of charge because it's a Christian place of worship. Look at the columns, look at the magnificent monolithic columns, the original ones, 39 feet from Egypt. From Egypt were brought to Rome in the 2nd century AD and are still here to beautify the colonnade of this iconic symbol of the Roman Empire. Roma is the eternal city, as I mentioned before, my friend, because wherever you are, you can breathe a strong flavor of history. And at every corner, you can find all the signs left over 2,000 years of history. And don't forget, Bernini, Gian Lorenzo Bernini, he worked here at the Pantheon to gain an important masterpiece. And so I have a question for you. Tell me, be ready? It's a difficult question. Et voila! Which one of these masterpieces Bernini did? What do you think? The number 1, Mona Lisa. Number 2, the Pietà. Or number 3, the canopy of St. Peter Basilica. What do you think?
Canopy.
Pieta.
One vote for Pietà. And sorry, the previous one, what did you say? Which number?
Canopy.
Canopy, the number 3, the canopy. Well, the correct answer is the number 3. 3 points. Because imagine this beautiful canopy, the bronze canopy of St. Peter Basilica, it was made with the bronze stolen from the Pantheon. You know, something hard to believe because the Pantheon is a church. But 400 years ago, the Pope, Urban VIII, well, he wanted to recycle the material to beautify St. Peter Basilica. And so all the gilded bronze panels of the Pantheon, I want to show you much better. All the gilded bronze panels of the Pantheon, take a look just in front of you, were recycled to beautify St. Peter Basilica. At this hour is not visible because it's so dark, but here on the top, there's a dome. The dome of the Pantheon is the first dome ever built around all over the world. It's incredible. The height and the diameter are equal, 43 meters. So this means 142 feet. This means that inside the Pantheon, there's a perfect sphere. And the sides, the height, 142 feet, that is so familiar for you, is the same one of the Statue of the Liberty from the sandal to the torch, 142 feet, just to give you an idea. But now we're leaving this other amazing square, and I have another surprise for you.
This guy sells sandwiches. Of course, he has hot dogs, like in New York City, but he has something more typical of Italy, or actually typical of Florence. Look, he's showing lampredotto. Lampredotto is actually part of the stomach of a cow. They boil it, with many species, and they make a sandwich, adding also a sauce, the sauce that is lifting. You can use red sauce that is hot or the green one. And of course, panino, sandwich, and on it, lampredotto and some broad and sauce. Finger food, very tasty. Grazie, sei stato gentilissimo. Look, he's preparing it. It's not, you're right, but not exactly right, because trippa is the first and the second stomach of a cow. What is using lampredotto is the fourth stomach. Now we will add some more, maybe some broad, and the sandwich will be ready. This is instead, this is another one, you see, ready to be warmed up in that pot. Grazie.
We love a drink.
Da domani mi sa. Da domani. Meno male, dai. Speriamo ci sia un po' di gente. I was chatting a little bit with them in Italian. Ciao ragazzi, buon lavoro.
Now, let me tell you a bit of history as we go, and feel free to jump in with any questions. Here's a question for you. Do you know the capital of Australia? The capital city, does anyone know the name of it?
Canberra? No.
Well done, Canberra. Yeah. And well pronounced too. Most people say Canberra. It's Canberra, because Australians love to swallow syllables. You know, too many syllables, it's just too much for our small brains. So we love to, you know, love to cut things as short as we can, like, how's it going? We say, how's it going?
Good day.
G'day. Instead of good day, it's g'day.
G'day.
Just, you know, g'day, mate. How's it going?
Yeah.
And a lot of these are very English expressions with a bit more of an Australian flair, a bit of twang. She'll be right, mate. No worries, that sort of thing. Who's the English fellow in the background there? He knows what I'm talking about.
Jeremy. Hello.
Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. You're the one in the first class section of the plane, I heard.
That's right.
Yes. Well, the British always do things in style.
Well,
except when they came to Australia, let me say. Australia was not a really a stylish place to come to at all. In fact, it was considered to be the worst place on earth. It was where the English sent their leftover prisoners. And then basically it was the Americans that started all that kerfuffle, because you guys had an independence revolution, didn't you, in 1776?
Right.
And by 1783, you know, you sort of told the English to go home. And so the English sort of went, well, what do we do now? We've got nowhere else to send all these excess scum, these petty crims who don't really deserve to be executed. They've only stolen a piece of bread or a potato or an apple or something. Where can we send them now? Because they had been sending them to the east coast of your country.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many British names in America. That's why you speak the language that we speak. Anyway, so by 1787, they sent 11 ships of about 1,200 convicts or prisoners to our shores. Just petty criminals, aged between 20 and 50 on average, because they knew they would have to be sturdy to survive the journey. Do you know how long such a journey would take to get to Australia?
I don't know.
By sailing, of course. No pointy end of plane here. It took 9 months on average, sometimes a year.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah.
And you can imagine having left with 1,200 people. They didn't arrive with 1,200 people.
Oh.
They arrived with about 900.
Oh.
So they usually lost between, 10 and 30%.
And they are still from before. Look, they just don't want to go home. You see, they started a debate. And they don't finish it. Nah? And they are standing with their takeaway coffees and maybe even a glass of wine. I don't know. I don't want to check it closer. But anyway, this is what happens. Now on Saturday, you usually don't cook. You eat something small here on the market and you meet your friends, as I said. What about these two guys here? What do you think? What do they represent? Refugees? Yeah, they are actually refugees, but somebody sinned and they had to leave one place.
Oh, Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve. You see, I already said. Now in Ljubljana, everything is about love. LJUB, Ljub, Ljubljanica. Already the name tells you that this is the city of love. And here we have Adam and Eve. Yes, and they had to leave paradise because of who? Who chased them from paradise, especially Eve. There is a devil. Yeah, a serpent, a devil, now let's say. And that's what we have here as well. You remember the author who made those masks on the ground floor of one street, Cobbler Street before? So that's the same author. Here we have Adam and Eve and the devil who is chasing them out of the paradise. You can see that he has also a tail here. I'll just go around, but you'll see that this is really a devil and not a human being. So it's a kind of a story, you know, of good and bad within us. And since this Butcher's Bridge, you see, it's pretty wide because architect Jože Plečnik, he wanted to have butcher stalls on this bridge. Of course, today we don't need them. You know, in the past, people cleaned meat directly into water. So that's why butchers' bridges were very important. Of course, thank God today we don't have this anymore. And that's why artists said, oh, you know what? Let's put some sculptures that I already have at home in our butcher's bridge area. What about this one? Huh? Bye-bye.
Thank you very much
Thank you
for
so
joining this
much.
tour.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have the time to take you around, especially for Tony's birthday. Again, buon compleanno. Ciao.
On behalf of the Discover Life team in Egypt, I would like to tell you we were honored and delighted having you. Thank you so much, and looking forward to see you in a different adventure around the land of the pharaohs.